How's it going, everybody? Welcome to the channel. So I'm out here outside the gym, sitting in my car, trying to get myself prepared to go inside. So I've been kind of sitting around and thinking about what I want to do, what I want to get out of this fitness journey, and I'm kind of sitting down and thinking about goals and what I want to do. And usually about right now, a lot of people are, starting their cut and, trying to get, in really good shape for the summer. But I think I'm going to go the other way, and I'm just going to continue building. I'm not as big as I want to be, and I want to continue to grow. I'm consistently seeing strength gains right now, so I just want to continue on that path. And I'm probably going to continue doing this for about, I don't know, another 4 months. And see, what kind of gains I get out of it strength wise. There's a lot of things that I'm at right now. My incline bench now is at 185, so I want to continue to get that to about 225. My flat bench right now is at 225, and I want to get a little bit more than that. I'm not going to say 315 because that's kind of far away, but I want to continue with that. I want to grow my back and grow my shoulders. So I just want to continue bulking. So I'm going to probably start a series now. You guys can follow along and, see where I'm getting at. And, hopefully on this journey of me growing and stuff, I can give you guys some advice and help you guys, continue growing as well. Also, yeah, I got, man, look at that stain on my sweater. I spilt my drink. By the way, I'm really into Ghost products. So I got about 1.5 scoops of pump and about 5 milligrams of creatine. So I drink this pretty much every time I work out. And I really like these self-serve cups because it just makes things easier. But I'm going to keep sipping on this and get my mind right, get prepared to get inside. And, so I'll see you guys inside.
All right, here we are back again in another session. So today was back, shoulders, and arms. It was essentially just going to be a back and arm day, but I had to incorporate some shoulders in there because the gym was a little packed and I really wanted to get the workout in. So I had to switch up my routine a little bit. Don't be afraid to do that. You can always, make up for things another day. But we're starting here with some plated rows. I already did, a couple warm-up sessions. So this is, we're starting to get to a little bit of heavyweight, well, my heavyweight. And it's funny, a month ago, I was only able to, to have 2 plates on each side. So I feel the growth coming. Now, it's coming a little quick because muscle memory, but I had to take a year off, from a gym session from a multitude of reasons, injuries, letting my body heal. And, I had to move and, all that stuff. So this is, me really back in the gym and getting it done every day. So this is pretty much close to a PR. I wanted to see how heavy I could really get. And you'll kind of see here, I'm kind of struggling on it a little bit. But what I want you guys to try and do when you guys are either on this machine or really on anything else is to really focus on that eccentric and really making sure you're going pretty slow. So here's where the shoulders start. I was feeling a little bit of tightness in my left shoulder, so I wanted to get on the Smith machine and do some, Smith machine shoulder press. And as you can see, as I'm doing this, I'm really, really trying to keep it tight and really focusing on that eccentric, for optimal growth. And also not really just, pushing that weight and, causing another injury. And, I'm trying to focus on that little tightness that I'm feeling in my shoulder and, making sure that, nothing happens. I'm not a young man anymore, 41. So I got to really keep an eye on things as I'm working out. But, it's never too late to start. So I'm curious, what your guys' goals are, what you are trying to accomplish, in your fitness journey, and, what, type of things you want to get out of watching my content. If you like more informative stuff, and if you are just watching this to basically watch somebody work out. But I've been going to the gym for kind of consistently about 10 years, kind of off and on. Never really took it too serious. Just wanted to stay in good shape and all that. But now taking things a lot seriously, and really trying to focus on my strength gains, and obviously getting a better physique, and all that. So if you're watching this, stay tuned. I do have a leg day coming. Legs for me are hard to really gain. I don't have the best genetics when it comes to my legs, and for me it's kind of hard growth. I gain strength, but I don't really see a lot of growth for a while, so I've kind of changed my whole routine. But here we are on some incline bicep curls. Really like doing this movement. Don't be afraid to drop that weight. I'm not lifting really heavy. It doesn't really take much when you're doing bicep curls. The biceps are a really small muscle. Don't really be afraid to drop that ego and drop that weight. And really, like I always say, concentrate on that eccentric movement. Really focusing, really paying attention, to your biceps. Trying to pause and squeeze at the top. You'll see I'm doing that. But yeah, so if you guys have any goals or anything like that, feel free to put it in the comments. I like to see everybody's stuff. We all have different goals in mind. Now, I just really started incorporating these in my routine. I think they're called forward-facing bicep curls, I think, something like that. But I started really incorporating these in my arm day. I really felt, a lot of growth off of these. Make sure you're keeping them at about waist length. You don't want to hold it too far down as you're doing these curls. But I did a couple sets of those, and then I just moved on to your standard standing bicep curl. Making sure we're going to failure on these. As I'm starting to get towards the end of my workout, I like to start progressively going more to failure. Once you're on the cable, push it as hard as you can, really get in there and get that done. I think eventually I want to get to the points where I'm able to superset pull-ups in between. My back is one of my other weak points, mainly because of the injury that I was talking about beforehand. I had a lower back injury that was causing me a lot of problems from a deadlift that I went a little too heavy and had really improper form. But we finished off the day with some seated hammer straight curls, plated. I don't know how much more I'm going to be doing these. I feel some slight pain as I'm doing them in my elbow. I always have. I have golfer's elbow, and I'm still trying to, deal with that as well. I'm hoping not to have to go through any sort of surgery. So right now, the doctor and everything I go to has me on a steroid right now to try and keep the inflammation down. I'm icing and really stretching and stuff before I hit the gym. So I'm trying to work through that, but those tend to be an issue. And here we are. The workout's pretty much done. I wanted to take some video footage of my progress right now. I hold a lot of my weight in my midsection, as you can see, but not really too stressing on that right now, as I'm still bulking, and I'm going to continue to do that for a few months now. So I just wanted to continue seeing some growth. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this gym session, and be more to come. The next one's going to be leg day, so I'll show you guys what I'm doing and all that. All right, everyone. So I'm finally sitting down to have
my first meal of the day. It's 3:41, so I fasted for a pretty long time. Now, I think I did it in my previous video too, but I usually don't. I usually don't fast this long. But I went to the gym pretty late, and I like to work out fasted, so I didn't really eat before I went. But yeah, so I got about a scoop and a half of Ghost protein. It's about 40-ish grams of protein, and I'm eating 1 cup of jasmine rice with 3 eggs and some salt, pepper, and some hot sauce. So I'm gonna go ahead and get at this and be back right after I'm done eating. So anyways, yeah, like I was saying, so my goal as of right now for the first, for these next 3 months is to, continue building. I'm at about 3,000 calories a day, and about 215 grams of protein, about 487 grams of carbs, and about 78 grams of fat. So I'm doing more of a low fat build because my body doesn't react very well to fat, and I want to keep that really low. So it's kind of the goal that we're going right now. I'm going to continue doing that, continue hitting the gym pretty hard. I do pretty much a typical push-pull leg day, but I went to the gym earlier today, and today was essentially supposed to be my back day, but so a pull day, and the gym was kind of busy, and everybody was pretty much hitting. It looked like hitting back today, so I didn't want to really be in the gym forever, so I kind of switched it up, and started doing shoulders and arms. I still hit a little bit of back, but you're not really going to see that in the recording. But yeah, I mean, don't really be afraid to to change your routine up. You can always hit it the next day. My biggest focus right now is more of my back and my legs. So I'm going to be really hitting legs hard every time. I might actually cut back because I'm usually hitting the same muscle group twice a week. I only take 1 day off, so I do push pull legs, day off. So I might actually cut back to one chest day, or 1 push day, 1 pull day, and 2 leg days to really hit my legs pretty hard and cut back on more of my upper body, so I kind of get more proportionate. So that's gonna be a goal going forward. So yeah, if you guys want to continue following and keep checking out my journey and see where I'm going, it's much appreciated. If you like my content and you want to continue following, go ahead and like and subscribe. It really helps me out a lot. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.